Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Panto Mohi Sabdana Mate Pando Mohi Sabdana Mate Chara Prasade Bhai E Baba Toriya Jai Chara Prasade Bhai E Baba Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoi Jai Hoi Te Krishna Prapti Hoi Jai Hoi Te Krishna Prapti Hoi Jai Hoi Te Guru Mukh Padma Vakya Chit Te Koriya Ekya Vakya Chitte Koriya Guru Mukh Padma Vakya Chitte Koriya Guru Mukh Padma Vakya Chitte Koriya Arna Koriya Mane Asha Arna Koriya Mane Asha Charan Rati Aise Uttam Gati Shri Guru Charan Rati Aise Uttam Gati Prasade Pure Sarve Asha जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा। चक्षुदान दिलो जाए जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु साए। चक्षुदान दिलो जाए जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु साए। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो। प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते। प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते। वेद गाए जहाँ चरितो। वेद गाए जहाँ चरितो। श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनारा बंधु। श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनारा बंधु। लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना। लोकनाथ जीवाना। हा प्रभु कोरो दया दयो मोरे पद छाया। हा प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया। हा प्रभु कोरो दया दयो मोरे पद छाया। एबे जश कुशिक त्रिवाना। एबे जश कुशिक त्रिवाना। देय पद लाला शराना। देय पद लैला शराना। प्रभुपाद पतित पवाना। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात्यादिशतारिणे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी Nityadishakare. Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shrupad Ki Jai.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajacharya Stotar Shatashi Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की बृहत मृदंग ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
In fact, for the devotee, this is the festival to celebrate the appearance of Nityananda Prabhu. Actually, because of Nityananda Prabhu only, that we have some, entrance towards bhakti or towards attraction to Krishna or bhakti. So, actually, Nityananda Trayodashi is tomorrow, but we are celebrating it today. So, sooner the better, isn't it? Or we can do twice. Tomorrow also we can celebrate, some other temple, but today we can celebrate at ISKCON Stoke. Today is also the appearance of Varahadev, who came to rescue the Mother Earth from the depths of the Garbhodak ocean. So, very wonderful day today. And today we are very lucky to have His Grace Dinbandhu Prabhu to give us the class on this beautiful topic of Nityananda Trayodashi. So I think he has a lot to speak today. So I'll not take much time, and I'll ask Prabhuji to please take the seat and bless us with the class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So, generally we sing Jai Radha Madhav before the class, but because this is in celebration of Nityananda Prabhu appearance, we will sing Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya 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 Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. 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 Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we'll read these verses together. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Sunday Feast Festival in Stoke-on-Trent, ISKCON. We've had quite a few festivals recently. So yesterday was Ekadashi, Jaya Ekadashi. Today is Varaha Dwadashi, appearance of Lord Varahadev. And tomorrow is Nityananda Trayodashi, appearance of Lord Nityananda. So today we will discuss mainly about Lord Nityananda, but being Varaha Dwadashi, I will start the class with the pastime of Lord Varahadev. So in Vedic culture, it is described that the Lord has multifarious manifestations. The Lord has an impersonal aspect. That's the aspect which is worshipped in most of the other religions, that Lord does not have a form. He is an energy, but He is the source of all energies, and we worship Him. So that concept is there in the Vedas as well, which is called the impersonal worship of the Supreme Lord. We also have the personal aspect of the Lord, where the Lord has a personality. He comes in different personalities. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes that worship of the impersonal aspect is difficult, because how do we focus our mind on the impersonal? The mind is anyway restless, it is turbulent, it is more difficult to control the mind than to control the wind. You might control the storms, the hurricanes that are coming, but to control the mind is even more difficult. Do you accept that? Controlling the mind is very difficult. So to focus it on something impersonal, of which our senses have no experience, is very troublesome. It's not impossible, but it's a difficult path. So to make things easier for us, the Lord comes in various personal forms. Because in this material body, I have experience of dealing with personalities. I've got parents, I've got a wife, I've got kid, I've got friends, I've seen, I've got some pets as well. So I've got experience of dealing with various personalities in this world. So the Lord says, okay, to make it easy for you, I'll come to you in a personal form. So He comes in different personal form, in different species also. He comes as a fish. You all have heard the story of Noah, the Ark of Noah. The Noah of Ark. So there was this devastation, and he went on a boat and he survived that devastation. Now the Vedas have a very similar story, the story of Satyavrat Manu. So Satyavrat, at the time of universal devastation, the Lord said, make a boat. And then it is described that the Lord came as a fish incarnation, the Matsya avatar. And He took the boat, He guided the boat through the universal devastation. So we've got some additional information in the Vedas, How did Noah survive? How did his boat survive? The Lord actually guided him through fish incarnation. The Lord comes as a tortoise. The Lord comes as half man, half lion, the Narsimha incarnation. So there were two demons, they were twins, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So the younger one, Hiranyaksha, at the time of universal creation, what he did was he took Mother Earth, the Earth planet, and threw it into the causal ocean. And the earth sank. So Mother Earth and all the demigods, they prayed to the Lord that please save us. So the Lord appeared as a boar, and He went into the Netherlands and He picked up Mother Earth and brought her out. So today is the day when the Lord appeared as that boar incarnation. So in Sanskrit, boar is called Varaha. So today is the appearance of Lord Varahadev. And it is described that Lord Varaha was very beautiful, actually. He was white in color, and each hair on his body was very effulgent. And he had long tusks, and on those tusks he lifted Mother Earth. So it is also described that since then Mother Earth became the consort of Varahadev. So therefore we worship Varaha Lakshmi or Vishnu Lakshmi, or Bhudevi and Vishnu. So like that we worship the Bhudevi, the Mother Earth, as the consort of Lord Varahadev from that day on. So today is the appearance of Lord Varahadev. Tomorrow is the appearance of Lord Nityananda, and in our tradition, so Vedas have different schools. You have the school of Lord Brahma, the school coming from Goddess Lakshmi, school coming from Shiva, school coming from the four Kumaras. So in the school coming from Lord Brahma, there are many great teachers, and again, there are various sub-schools. So one of the schools is ISKCON, the Hare Krishna movement. People usually think that this movement was born 50 years ago. But this tradition has, this school, this discipline has been going on for thousands of years. And in our tradition, in the tradition of ISKCON or Gaudiya Sampradaya, we worship Gaur Nitai. We worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gauranga and Lord Nityananda or Nitai. These two are the incarnations of Krishna and Balaram respectively. So in our Sampradaya, in our school, the worship of Gaur and Nitai takes additional importance. So we worship Radha and Krishna. They are worshipped in the whole of Vedic culture. But specifically in ISKCON, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we also worship Gaur Nitai. So today we will speak on something about why we worship Lord Nityananda, who is Lord Nityananda, and some of his pastimes. Okay. So can I respectfully ask, who has not heard of Lord Nityananda? Everyone has heard? Everyone knows? Okay, fantastic, great. So you're in the right place. Okay. So today we'll have some introduction to Lord Nityananda. So one day Krishna was sitting in his spiritual planet in Golok, and he was looking at Radharani, his dear consort, and he was thinking, Radha loves me so much and she is always happy. So what mood is she experiencing? God knows everything, but God does not know what a devotee thinks, because God has never taken a position of a devotee. He's always the boss. Like a king does not know what it is like to be a subject, because he's born as a prince and then he becomes a king. So he doesn't know what does the subject feel like. So sometimes what the king does is he dresses himself as an ordinary subject, and he goes out into his kingdom and experiences the life of a common man. Many movies have been made on this. The prince or the princess, they dress themselves as a commoner and move among the commoners, and then they experience even more bliss than what they had in the formal life of a palace. So similarly, Krishna is looking at Radha and he's thinking, she is my supreme devotee, my topmost devotee, and what is she experiencing? She's always happier than me. So Krishna asks Radharani that, what are you experiencing? So Radha says, you will not know this, because you are God, you will never realize this. So Krishna insists, no, I want to experience what you are experiencing. So Radha says, then you have to take my mood. You have to become a commoner. You have to accept my consciousness. So Krishna says, okay, done. I will accept your consciousness and I will become an ordinary devotee of Krishna. So Krishna is becoming his own devotee. Okay. And at the same time, in Kali Yuga, it is the time has come when the Lord has to incarnate. So in all the ages, the Lord is incarnating. So at the beginning of creation, he comes as the fish incarnation. Then in Satyug, he comes in various incarnation. Kurma avatar, the Varah avatar that we discussed. As Narsimha Dev, he came. Okay. Then in Treta Yuga, he comes as Ram, Lord Ramchandra. Dwapar Yuga, he comes as Krishna himself. And now Kali Yuga has come. So the Lord has to appear in Kali Yuga as well, in the present age. So Krishna says, my time has come anyway to incarnate, but this time I will not incarnate as God. This time I will incarnate as a devotee of God. I'll come as my own devotee. So he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, various names, as Nimai Pandit. So that's how he appears. 500 years ago, he appears in year 1486. And this time he appears in a place called Navadvip, near Calcutta in East India. So about 100 kilometers from Calcutta is the 9 island. Nava means 9, Dvip means island. So 9 islands. He appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu over there in the house of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi. So now Krishna has appeared. You are with me so far? Yeah. So Krishna has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Krishna never appears alone. He always appears with his whole entourage, with his whole gang. He does not come alone. He's the leader of this gang. So everyone comes with Krishna. So Radharani comes, and how does Radharani appear? She appears in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Krishna has adopted her mood. It is also said that she appears as Gadadhar Pandit. Okay. And Krishna's brother Balaram, he comes as Lord Nityananda. So the elder brother of Krishna, Balaram, he incarnates as Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda is none other than the elder brother of Krishna, Balaram. And then all others are coming, Vishnu and Rudra, they combine together, they come as Advaita Chandra. We had his appearance not long ago, just a week ago, the appearance of Lord. Yes? So Lord Nityananda is also? But I will tell you one more secret. Okay? You are right. Absolutely right. So Balramji is Lord Shesha and Lord Nityananda. They are all the same personalities. You are right. But I will tell you one secret. The secret is that Vishnu comes from Krishna and Shesha comes from Balaram. So now you will say, why is that? What is the evidence for that? So the evidence for that is in Srimad Bhagavatam, where all the incarnations are listed in the first canto, second chapter. And at the end it is said, Ete cham sakala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Loke Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. So after listing all the incarnations, it is said that all these incarnations are parts and parcel of Krishna. Okay? That is one evidence. Then, do you know how many Vishnus are there? Not 9. There are millions of Vishnu forms, millions of Lakshmi forms. Okay? And they are all coming from Krishna. Okay. So if you want to study this, why Vishnu, generally we say, Krishna appears from Lord Vishnu, but that is incorrect. If you want to study this, there is a book called Krishna Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami, written 500 years ago. and he has compiled all the evidence from all the Vedic literatures to expand on this topic. Yes, yes. Now, there is one thing, in spiritual world, there is no concept of time and space. So Lord Brahma gives an example that if you light 10 candles, if you have got 10 candles, and you take one candle, you light it up, and then you light all the 10 candles, and then you put that candle also amongst them. So there are 11 candles. They're all the same in potency. Okay, one may be the original, but all of them have equal light, equal heat. They all have the same potency. So similarly, Krishna may come in Dwapar, but he is the original form. He is the original candle which is lighting all the candles. Okay, so Krishna Sandarbha, Sandarbh, Krishna Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami wrote Shata Sandarbha, 6 Sandarbhas. Bhagwan Sandarbha, Krishna Sandarbha, a few others, Bhakti Sandarbha, and 3 more like that. So he has written Shata Sandarbha expounding on each topic. And all he does is he takes references from all the literatures. Okay, so just as Vishnu is coming from Krishna, Shesha is also coming from Balaram. So Balaram is the original, and then Shesha, Lord Nityananda, they are all coming from him. Got it? Okay, very important point. And we can study in depth in this particular book. Okay, so Krishna has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balramji has come as Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, and similarly all others are also coming. Narad Muni is coming as Shrivas Thakur, like that. So everyone has now appeared. Hanumanji came as Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, he was a physician.
So if Vishnu is an incarnation of Krishna, then shouldn't Shiva be an incarnation of Hanuman? If Shiva comes as an incarnation.
No, Shiva is original. No, you cannot reverse every time, okay? Okay, but this is good, one day we can have a quiz on this. Okay, who comes from who? You have to match the column, okay? I'm sure you will win. Okay, so we will focus on Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda is Balram coming along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so now they have come. So how does Lord Nityananda appear? So about some distance, it takes about 4 or 5 hours drive from Navdeep, is a village called Ekachakra. Now, Ekachakra, it's a very historical place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 1486, and Nityananda Prabhu was 12 years older to him. So he appeared in 1474. Okay. So when Nityananda Prabhu appeared, he appeared in this place called Ekachakra. Now in Ekachakra, a famous pastime has taken place. What is that pastime? Anyone knows? It's connected to? Yes, Panda. What pastime, Mataji? Correct. So the Pandavas, they were in Ekachakra. So it was not during Agyatavas, if I remember correctly. It was when the Lakshagra event had taken place, and they had all been exiled. So anyway, they were hiding, and they came to Ekachakra, and they stayed in the house of a Brahman. So this Brahman, he invited them and he gave them nice food and hospitality. But they noticed that there was a lot of sadness in that house. So Kunti Devi, she asks the wife of the Brahman, why are you all so sad? So she said that in our village there is a demon and he kills everyone indiscriminately. So we now have a pact with him that every day we will send him a cartload of food. Wait, questions at the end now. We'll send him a cartload of food and a human being so that he can kill one person and eat the food. And tomorrow is the turn of my son. So we are very unhappy. So Kunti says, don't worry, I will send my son instead. So she says, no, you are our guest. We should not be letting any harm come to you. So he said, don't worry, my son will kill that demon. So she asks Bhima to go. And when Bhima goes, Bhima is very happy because in forest he did not get much food. So today he had a cartload of food and he was eating. And this demon comes and he is very angry. He says, who are you eating my food? So they have a fight and Bhima kills him. So the whole village is happy. That village, Ek Chakra, is where Lord Nityananda appeared. Okay. If you go to Eka Chakra, even now you can see the place where the pastime of Bhima killing that demon took place. Okay. And of course you can go to the house of Nityananda Prabhu where he appeared. So Nityananda Prabhu, he appeared in the house of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Mataji. His parents' name were Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. And they were so happy to have this son. Nityananda Prabhu, imagine he is like Lord Balarama. He is Lord Balarama. So he is fair in complexion, very beautiful, very strong. And as a child, he was very well behaved, very knowledgeable. And he had one particular interest. All children have a particular hobby or interest. What is your hobby?
My hobby is every Saturday or something I do like a part of class.
Okay. So you like to learn something. Now Nityananda Prabhu, he had a particular hobby which was playing drama. He liked to do dramas. He liked to act. And he used to act all the pastimes of Krishna, of Lord Ram, of the previous incarnations. So he used to collect all his friends and they would have elaborate dramas. Now, the villagers, they were surprised when they used to see that drama. They used to think, this little boy, how does he know these pastimes in detail? And they used to ask him, Nitai, how do you know these pastimes in detail? And he used to say, well, I was present in those pastimes. I know them. I have witnessed them. But the villagers could not understand. They thought he's a small boy. Wait, he's a small boy. So one day they were doing the drama of Ramayana. And what part did Lord Nityananda take? Lakshman. Why Lakshman? Yeah, because he was Lakshman. Balramji comes as Lakshman. Krishna comes as Ram, like that. So he took the part of Lakshman and they were playing. So it came to the part where Lakshman is now facing Ram and Lakshman. They have gone to Lanka and they are fighting with Ravan and his soldiers. And the son of Ravan, Meghnath, he shoots an arrow at Lakshman. And Lakshman, that arrow hits Lakshman and he becomes unconscious. So now the boys panic because one of them shot the arrow. That arrow was just a stick, harmless arrow. But when it hit Lakshman, when it hit Nityananda, he became unconscious. So they all panicked and all the villagers came, the parents came, Hadai Pandit, Padmavati Mataji, and they all started crying because there was no sign of life in Nityananda. So one villager, he took a step back and he said, Nityananda, he knows all these pastimes in great depth. So did he say anything before starting this drama? So one of the boy who was crying, he suddenly remembered. He said, yes, yes. He told me that when I become unconscious, then ask Hanuman to bring this hill. And there will be a herb in that hill, and you have to smell me that herb. So they do like that. So they all start the drama again. The boy who is playing Hanuman, he goes, and that is an elaborate pastime as well, how Hanuman goes and he brings up the hill. So they take that time, they bring the hill, and from that hill, they take something like a herb and put it at the nose of Nityananda Prabhu, and he wakes up. And then everyone is happy that he is awake, like that. So all these pastimes were taking place over there in Ekchakra. And Lord Nityananda, Nitai, he was growing up. Then one day, one sannyasi came to the house of Hadai Pandit. And Hadai Pandit invited him. They had nice discussions. The whole night they were discussing Krishna Katha. And in the morning, when the sannyasi was about to leave, Hadai Pandit said that, what can I offer you? As a householder, it is my duty to offer you something. What do I offer you? So the sannyasi says, I want your boy, Nityanand. I'm traveling to all the holy places. I need an assistant. So Hadai Pandit, he is shocked, because Hadai Pandit, he was so attached to Nityananda that he never left Nityananda out of sight. Wherever Nityananda Prabhu would play, he would always keep an eye on him. He was so attached. So when the sannyasi said, give your boy and send him with me, he was shocked, he was stunned. He could not say anything. He simply took the hand of Nityananda and placed it in the sannyasi's hand. And the sannyasi, he disappeared. And Hadai Pandit was standing there with tears in his eyes, like a statue. So Padmavati Mataji came and she said, what happened? What happened? She shook him up. And then he came to his senses. He said, that sannyasi asked for our boy and I gave him. So meanwhile, Padmavati Mataji starts crying. All the villagers come and they all say, Hadai Pandit, what have you done? Who gives his child to someone unknown? What have you done? What have you done? And they all run in all directions. But that sannyasi is nowhere to be seen. And after that day, Hadai Pandit, he cannot sustain his life. Very soon, he and Padmavati Mataji, they leave their body. And then the villagers of Ekchakra, they are also so morose that, Nityananda is not there, Hadai Pandit is not there, Padmavati Mataji is not there. The whole life of the village has gone. So they also leave the village and the village becomes deserted. So Nityananda Prabhu, he is now with this sannyasi. The identity of this sannyasi is not revealed. Many people have, reflected on this. Some say that he is Madhvendra Puri, or someone say he is someone else. But no one knows for sure who this sannyasi was. But what we know is that this sannyasi took Nityananda Prabhu throughout India. So there are a lot of places in India where there is evidence that Nityananda Prabhu had come as a young boy. So Nityananda Prabhu traveled, and for the next decade or so, he kept traveling with this sannyasi. And he came to Vrindavan. Now Vrindavan is his original home. Vrindavan is where Krishna and Balarama used to play. So Balaramji came and he was going to all the forests in Vrindavan, and he was remembering that, oh, here I used to play with my cows, here I used to play with my cowherd friends, here Nanda Yashoda, they used to live. So like that he was having a very nice ecstatic time in Vrindavan. Now at that time he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has started his Sankirtan mission. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 12 years after Nityananda Prabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not immediately start his Sankirtan movement. He stayed as Nimai Pandit for some time, and only when he went to Gaya and took darshan of the Radha Madhav over there, he manifested his mood as a devotee. So when he came back from Gaya, he started the Sankirtan mission of the Lord. Okay, so he started the public chanting of the holy names. So questions later on, okay? Keep your questions in mind, okay? Catch me after the class. So, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started his Sankirtan mission, and this news reached Nityananda Prabhu in Vrindavan, that Krishna has now started chanting the holy name. So immediately he comes to Navdeep. Now there is a very interesting pastime of how they met. You know, Balramji, he likes to play pranks. He is not straightforward. Okay, he's not straight in his dealing. He likes to create some drama, some pranks. So he hid in the house of a devotee. And Mahaprabhu, he got a dream that his dear brother has come. So he sent all his devotees to search for this great personality, and they all came back saying, we don't know where he is. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you will never find Balram. And he rushes and he goes to the house of this devotee and he sees Nityananda Prabhu. And this is for the first time they both are meeting together. And they both embrace each other, and out of ecstasy, they both fall unconscious. Then they again somehow come into consciousness, they embrace each other, then they again fall unconscious. And this happens quite a few times. And then Mahaprabhu tells all the devotees, start Harinam Sankirtan. So they all start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And then they dance. And how was that dance? Not like, when we dance, it is as if, someone has put a gun to our head and saying, dance. So we do like this, a bit of dance. It's not like that. Okay. Their dance was ecstatic. Do you want to hear how they used to dance? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. When they used to dance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to jump so high, his soul would be on the top of the head of each devotee. So he used to jump at least, how tall Mahaprabhu was? About 8 feet. So previously, people were tall. Have you seen the slippers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? They are there in Navdeep. If you go to Vishnu Priya's temple, they show you the sandals of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this big. If you go to Alarnath temple, there is the footprint of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like this big. In few places you see this big footprints of Mahaprabhu. He was really tall, so he used to jump and he used to fly high in the sky. And his devotees also, they used to jump very high. So imagine everyone jumping very high. And then they would circle, and they would circle like a whirlwind. And their clothes, they used to, fly like this. And the garlands, it would not lie like this, It would go, because they were circling so fast, it would defy the laws of gravity. And Mahaprabhu, he used to shed tears of love for Krishna. And these tears were not like, 1 or 2 drops. They used to be like a water gun. And they used to drench all the devotees. And Mahaprabhu used to make a lot of sounds and they would chant Hare Krishna. It used to be so loud, it used to pierce the coverings of the universe. So that is how they used to do Sankirtan. Not like, Hare Krishna. Not like that. Their Sankirtan was out of ecstasy. These are the original personalities of Godhead. So when Krishna becomes his devotee, he takes the opportunity to the max. He's really experiencing what Radharani is experiencing. And so, along with him, all the other devotees are also experiencing the same ecstasy. And Srila Prabhupada, he has given us access to that same ecstasy. Prabhupada came to the West on the order of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said, "You are a young man, you know English, go to the English-speaking world and propagate this message of Krishna consciousness." So Prabhupada came to the West, and when he used to speak, people hardly understood anything. One of his very early disciples, he was telling us one day, he came to Mumbai and he was telling us that Prabhupada had such a heavy Bengali accent that when he spoke, we could only pick up on certain words. We didn't even knew what he was speaking. But what we saw is that this is an elderly man who genuinely wants our benefit. He doesn't want anything from us. He genuinely wants to give us something for our own benefit. So they all became attracted to Prabhupada. And what Prabhupada did was, he went to a public park and he used to chant Hare Krishna. And if you see videos from those times, they're still there on YouTube. All these people who had never heard of Krishna or Radha or Gaurang Mahaprabhu or Nityananda Prabhu, they felt the same ecstasy. The ecstasy was the same, and they all became attracted to the chanting of the holy names. And now, Prabhupada has wound up his manifest pastimes, but still that tradition is carrying on. So we can still partake of the same ecstasy by giving ourselves up to the holy name. So if we leave aside our conditionings, whatever is going on in our minds, and just submit to the chanting of the holy names, you will find that you are also jumping sky high and you are also experiencing the same ecstasy. Only our baggage is keeping us down. Okay? So we can all experience the same ecstasy. That comes with a bit of practice. And I will say that I have witnessed that ecstasy in some devotees in the last 20, 30 years. Some kirtans have been so ecstatic, some devotees have been dancing so ecstatically that, I thought, what is this? This is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spreading his Sankirtan movement. So we also have chance to that same ecstasy. We just need to give ourselves to that process. So Nityananda Prabhu came, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they became inseparable. They would always stay together. They would always chant the holy names together. Whatever pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu participated in, Nityananda Prabhu was always there. So there is one particular pastime which is very important. Anytime you attend Nityananda Trayodashi, you are bound to hear this pastime, because this pastime reflects a particular mood of Lord Nityananda, which is not seen in any other personality. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he calls Nityananda Prabhu, and there is another devotee called Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, he used to chant 192 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. If you do that properly, it will take about 22 hours every day, he used to chant. So one day Mahaprabhu called him and Nityananda Prabhu, and he said that, I want you to go out preaching door to door. Go to each and every house in this village and beyond. And you have to say, you have to fall at their feet. Whoever that person is in the house, whoever opens the door, you fall at their feet. And you say that, my dear sir, I have a request for you. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Please chant the names of Krishna. Make Krishna your life and soul. And even if people reject you, you make this plea. So immediately Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they say, wow, let's start doing this. And they go door to door. Imagine, Balramji, he is the elder brother of God. And he is falling at the feet of all the sinful souls, saying, please take the names of Krishna. Very genuinely, he is begging them. So those who were pious people, they immediately lifted them up. They said, oh, what are you doing? Don't fall at our feet. We are sinful people. Stand up. We will chant Hare Krishna from now onwards. But those who were not so pious, they would rebuke them. And at the end of the day, they would go and give a report to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they would say something along the lines of, we visited this part of Navadvip, we approached so many people started chanting the holy names of the Lord. And a few people, they did not like what we said. So Mahaprabhu was very happy. And in this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they started spreading the chanting of Hare Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu, throughout his life, he was a preacher of the holy name. Even after Mahaprabhu wound up his manifest pastimes, Nityananda Prabhu and his son Veerabhadra, they went to every nook and corner. Nityananda Prabhu covered the whole of Bengal, and his son covered Orissa. And they preached the holy name to so many people. And that's how this movement started spreading, by the efforts of Nityananda Prabhu and his descendants. So one day Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, they were going in a village and they saw that there was a crowd. So they went in and they asked the villagers, what's happening? So they said, look at this, there are these two brothers, Jagai and Madhai. They were born in a Brahman family and their original names were Jagadananda and Madhavananda Pandit. And they were really good, well-cultured, behaved Brahmanas. But due to bad influence, they have now given up their spiritual culture. And they are engaging in sinful activities 24/7. You name it, they have done it. Whatever sinful activities you can think of, they have done it. And they are always intoxicated. And they eat so much meat that they have become bulky. And they always trouble people. So now they are creating a scene in the marketplace, teasing women and, beating up men and drinking and fighting with each other if they can't fight with anyone. So Nityananda Prabhu, he tells to Haridas Thakur, we should go and preach to them. So Haridas Thakur said, are you mad? They will beat us up. So Nityananda Prabhu says, no, Haridas. Just imagine if these two people become devotees of the Lord, then it would be such great PR for our mission. So much publicity that, Jagai Madhai, they have started chanting. So this must be something really wonderful. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they go and fall at the feet of Jagai and Madhai. And what do they tell them? No, first is Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is your life and soul. And chant the names of Krishna. Okay? I'll ask you again after some time. So remember these 4 sentences. So Jagai and Madhai, they become very angry. They say, who are you? Who are you to give us an order? And they run after Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to beat them up. So they start running. And they are joking on the way. Whilst running from whilst running from Jagai and Madhai, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur are joking with each other. Haridas Thakur is saying, Nityananda, I told you that you will get us killed. So Nityananda is saying, why are you telling me tell our boss Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has given such a mad order. So both of them are laughing and they are running. Meanwhile, Jagai and Madhai, they cannot run fast because they are quite huge and they are intoxicated. So because they cannot catch Nityananda Prabhu, they start fighting amongst themselves. And that's how the day ends. And Nityananda Prabhu, he gives a report to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Haridas Thakur says, he's preaching to Jagai and Madhai, who are very sinful. We would have got killed today. So Mahaprabhu says, he laughs and then he says, well, now that Nityananda Prabhu has decided that they should become devotees of Krishna, that is what Krishna will do. They will now become devotees, just by Nityananda Prabhu's desires. So then, one day, Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, they see Jagai Madhai again. So immediately, Nityananda Prabhu goes to Jagai and Madhai. And what does he say? Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is your life and soul. Chant the names of Krishna. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Prana. Like this. So, this time, Madhai, he becomes really angry and he takes an earthen pot which was lying nearby and he smashes it on the head of Nityananda Prabhu. And this, he does it with such a force that this earthen pot breaks and Nityananda Prabhu, he gets blood coming from his head. And yet Nityananda Prabhu is saying, please chant the names of Krishna. Meanwhile, this news goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he becomes furious. And in all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nowhere does he declare himself to be God. But on this particular occasion, when his brother is hurt, he calls for his Sudarshan Chakra and he dashes to that scene, wanting to kill Jagai and Madhai. So immediately Nityananda Prabhu, he holds the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, Mahaprabhu, don't kill them. In this age you are coming not as God but as a devotee of the Lord. And if you started killing people of this age, you better kill everyone. Everyone is sinful in Kali Yuga. Jagai and Madhai, their sins may be known. Other people's sins may not be known, but they are all sinful. So whom will you keep killing? And by the way, when Madhai hit me with his head, with the pot, he was about to hit me again, but Jagai stopped him. So immediately Mahaprabhu says, what? Jagai saved you. And immediately Mahaprabhu embraces Jagai. So imagine, when Krishna embraces you, what will happen to you? All your sinful reactions will go away. Krishna is like the magical stone who can convert iron into gold. He is the touchstone. So immediately Jagai, he experiences great ecstasy. And tears start coming from his eyes. And he falls to the ground chanting the names of Krishna, Krishna. So seeing this, Madhai, he approaches Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, you have to embrace me as well. Because you cannot be impartial. We can see you are the Supreme Lord. Whatever sins Jagai has done, I have done the same. So if Jagai is getting the ecstasy despite committing sinful activities, I am also eligible for it. So Mahaprabhu says, no. You hit my brother Nityananda. You offended my devotee. I will never forgive you. So he says, then what is the hope for me? So he says, only Nityananda Prabhu is the hope for you. So Madhai approaches Nityananda Prabhu and falls at his feet and he says, please forgive him. Nityananda Prabhu says, no, just get up, chant Hare Krishna. I'm not offended at all. I did not get hurt, just a few drops of blood came. You also chant Hare Krishna. And seeing that Nityananda Prabhu has given his mercy to Madhai, Mahaprabhu also gives his mercy. And they all start dancing in Kirtan. The same Kirtan, that ecstatic Kirtan which I was describing. And what everyone see is that Jagai and Madhai, because of their sinful activities, they had lost all their effulgence. They had become very dark. They had become very ugly. But when they were doing Kirtan with Mahaprabhu and chanting the names of Krishna, they became very beautiful. All their darkness went away. They became very effulgent. And their body became, perfect. And they looked like, someone has descended from the heavenly planets. And everyone was saying, this is a miracle. So some devotees asked Mahaprabhu, what happened to their sinful activities? What happened to their karma? Mahaprabhu said, all their karma has gone away by chanting of the holy names. But whoever offends a devotee of the Lord, that karma will go into them. So if you are offending a devotee of the Lord, then the sins of Jagai and Madhai, they go into your account. So be careful, and Jagai, how much sins Jagai and Madhai did? In Yamlok, Yamraj has a scribe. His name is Chitragupta. Chitragupta had a whole department where they were writing. This is described in Chaitanya Mangal. This is another literature describing the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. So Chitragupta and his scribes, they were writing all the sinful activities which Jagai and Madhai were doing. And they could not keep up. So much so, it is said that some of the messengers, they decided to revolt. We are not working anymore. This is not just overshift, overtime. This is like, full 24/7 we are being made to work. So, and there were whole, rooms filled up with the accounts of Jagai and Madhai. That much sinful activities they were doing. So when Jagai and Madhai got liberated from their sinful activities, someone approached Yamrajji. Yamrajji was on his, stroll. He was sitting on his buffalo. He was going somewhere. Someone approached him and they said, Jagai and Madhai's sins have been nullified by the Supreme Lord. And hearing this, Yamrajji faints. He said, impossible. How can their sins be nullified? They have mountains and mountains of sins. And they say that Krishna and Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they have written off their sins. And Yamraj says, no one can be more merciful than them. It is difficult to forgive sinful reactions, but Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu have done that. And from that day onwards, Jagai Madhai, they become very nice devotees. They serve all the devotees. To whomever they had offended, they go and beg forgiveness. So this pastime is particularly relevant to us because we are also very sinful. And if we approach Krishna, Krishna is impartial. He's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Madhai approached him, he said, I am not going to forgive you. But if we approach Nityananda Prabhu, then Nityananda Prabhu is so compassionate. He doesn't look at our history. He doesn't look at our history sheet. In UK, the police, they have a record. Do you know what it is called? PNC. Okay? It's called PNC. So when I see some of my patients, I ask for PNC. Sometimes nothing, sometimes, there are 20, 30 pages. Mahaprabhu, he looks at the Krishna looks at the PNC, but Nityananda Prabhu, he does not look. He says, whatever it may be, I'll write it off. And I will give you love of Krishna by chanting of his holy names. And that tradition of compassion is coming through the line of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu preached to so many people. He initiated his son Veerabhadra, and like that it is coming through Srila Prabhupada and his disciples now. We are getting access to the same mercy of Lord Nityananda. All we need to do two things. First, accept the instruction of Nityananda Prabhu. What is the instruction of Nityananda Prabhu? No, we will start again. What is the first instruction? Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is your life and soul. Chant the names of Krishna. And the second is not to offend any devotee of the Lord, not to criticize a devotee of the Lord. To always be friendly towards the devotees of the Lord. If we can do this, then we partake of the same compassion of Lord Nityananda, and our lives become successful. We can easily go back home, back to Godhead. So Nityananda Prabhu, in this way, there are hundreds of pastimes where Nityananda Prabhu, he has shown incomparable compassion to the various fallen souls of this age. Not only Nityananda Prabhu, some of his associates were also like, far off kind of devotees. Some of their, do you want to hear one pastime of his associate? One associate's name was Abhiram Thakur, and he was Balramji's friend in Golok Vrindavan. So when he came here, he became Abhiram Thakur. You know how Abhiram Thakur used to preach? He had a whip. And if he wanted to bless someone, he would whip them. But whomever he whipped got unlimited love for the Supreme Lord. They would fall down in ecstasy. Tears would come from their eyes, and they would chant the names of Krishna. So people, they wanted to be whipped by him. And he had another potential. These are Nityananda Prabhu's followers. They were really far out. He had another potency. If he bowed down to a deity in a temple, and if the Lord was not present in the deity, that deity would be smashed to pieces. So if the deity worship was not going on properly, that deity would be smashed. And if he bowed down to a person, and if that person was not a pure devotee of the Lord, if that person had even one material desire, that person would die. Okay. Do you want him coming to this temple? Offering obeisances to all of you, offering obeisances to the deity. That was his potency. Okay. But one day he heard that there is this boy. His name was Raghunath, and what Raghunath did was, his parents had gone away, so they asked him to make an offering to the deity of Gopinath. And Raghunath made an offering to the deity of Gopinath, and Gopinath did not eat it. So he started crying, and he said, no, you have to eat, you have to eat. So eventually Krishna came out of the deity form, and he had the prasadam. So Abhiram Thakur heard of this pastime, and he said, I will go and meet Raghunandan. His name was Raghunandan. He said, I will go and meet Raghunandan, and I will offer my obeisances to him. He's such a pure devotee of the Lord that Krishna came to eat from his own hands. So what did Raghunandan's parents do? They locked him up in a room, and they said, you are not meeting Abhiram Thakur. And they told all the villagers. So when Abhiram Thakur came, all the villagers said, oh, Raghunandan, he's gone out playing, he's not here, he will not come for a few months. Like that, they were trying to avoid Raghunandan meeting Abhiram Thakur. But Raghunandan knew that this pure devotee was coming to meet him. So he escaped from the locked room, and he went and ran towards Abhiram Thakur. And Abhiram Thakur, seeing him, he offered his obeisances. And no news is good news. Nothing happened. Raghunandan survived. And everyone realized he's a pure devotee of the Lord. And then Abhiram Thakur and Raghunandan, they embraced each other and they had kirtan. There was another devotee of Nityananda Prabhu. He used to preach crocodiles, tigers, lions. He used to jump on them and he used to say, chant Hare Krishna, and they would chant Hare Krishna. Like that. So Nityananda Prabhu, he's extraordinary. His pastimes and the pastimes of his devotees are also extraordinary. Just look at the pastime of Srila Prabhupada. He came to the West where no one knows about Krishna, Radha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. People are indulged in all kind of sinful activities. And he makes them into proper devotees. They make them adopt clean habits, chant the names of Krishna and go back to God. Is that not an extraordinary pastime? So that is the tradition we are in. That is our wealth, what we have achieved, what we have received from the Supreme Lord Himself. So on this day of Nityananda Trayodashi, the appearance day is tomorrow. If you want, you can fast till noon, fast till 12 o'clock. It's not a very difficult fast, so it's possible to do that. So you fast and then you break your fast at 12 noon, and we can all pray to Nityananda Mahaprabhu that please bless us with your compassion. We have also a long PNC list with us. People may not know that, but we know internally what our record is. So we ask forgiveness from you. And Nityananda Prabhu, he immediately writes that off and then promise that I will chant Hare Krishna and never offend a devotee of the Lord. And in that way we can go back home, back to God. Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Sri Sri Krishna Balarama ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Nityananda Ram ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. नमस्ते सरस्वती प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे